Hello. Okay, I'm like super calm right now. I just had a really good meditation. But I have been thinking about doing this video for like over a week, and I wanted to try to get it done this morning because I just really felt really strongly that this is important to get done. So hopefully I can get through this. I'm just feeling very like calm, in a calm state right now, which is really good, but I also have to go to work this morning. Of course, the holidays are past, so Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. I have very good feelings about this year. I know that the last few years have been very, I don't want to say bad, awakening, I don't know. So it's been interesting. There's been some interesting times lately. I'm hoping for better times ahead. The main thing that I wanted to focus on in this video was grief. Man, I am just like really like in the zone right now, so I apologize. Some of you know, many that may watch this that don't know me at all, because this will probably go on YouTube. Those that do know me know that I lost my dad at the end of 2022, in the end of September 2022. And he had battled cancer for about 3 years, and it was a very devastating thing to watch. Anybody that has watched somebody battle cancer knows that it's very hard to watch somebody go through that. Sorry, it's kind of emotional to talk about sometimes. And there's a lot to that story, and I'm going to share that in some form in the future, but for the sake of this, what I want to share this morning or at this point with you, and bring some encouragement to you in this time, is I want to share a little bit about how I made it through my grief regarding my dad's passing. I don't know if any of you know that I was actually with my dad the night he passed away. I had wanted to be with him when he passed away, just to be by his side. However, you hear a lot of stories about how peaceful those moments are, and how you get to kind of hold your loved one's hand and they go very peacefully. My experience was not like that. It was not a peaceful moment for me at all. And so I had a lot of, I would say, PTSD regarding the experience, and had a lot of things to work through regarding that. Not only that, some of you also know, many don't, that I had lost my job 5 days before my dad's passing. And so I did not just have my dad's passing to deal with. I had lost my job. We had COVID that had just started months prior. I had foster daughters at home that I was trying to deal with. I had two at the time COVID started. One that left, and then right after my dad passed, the one that I had planned to adopt decided to leave me within that probably a week or so. So I had 3 very devastating losses at once. It was a lot to handle for me. So I had a lot of grief. And so for me, of course, my dad's death was the hardest for me. But it was one of those situations where I had 3 things to grieve at once. I did not really see it at point that I had that much to grieve, but over the year I was able to process that I needed to grieve all of it. So my understanding throughout the year was the power of grief. And I have many people in my life over the last year and years prior. I would say this last year, probably last 2 years. I know a lot of people that have lost a lot of people in their life. And it has been very sad to watch. I know people that are struggling with loved ones that are sick right now, even. And it's me being an empath. I want to help and I want to be there, but you really can't. You can't do the grieving for people. You can't. You can't take them through that process for them. That's something that people do have to do on their own. But this is something I do want to help encourage people. I want to be very sensitive when I talk about this subject because I myself know how I needed to be treated in that topic and subject, and I was very fragile and tender, and I needed to be treated as so. And so I want to first of all tell you I'm sorry, and you need to take all the time you need, and don't let anybody tell you any different, and that it doesn't suck, and that you should just move through it as quickly as possible, because there is no moving through it quickly. So give yourself permission to be pissed and angry and sad and whatever feeling you need, first of all. So anything I say in this video, if you want to be effing mad at me, then do it, because I get it. I was in that place too. Still am sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Second of all, I want to share a little tiny bit. This is not everything that I used to get through my grief, but I will tell you that the tool that I used to get through my grief was my meditation. And this is gonna sound crazy because it's hard, but one of the tools was getting to the point where I was able to connect with my dad through my spirit. And I know a lot of people don't believe in like spirits or afterlife and stuff, and so I want to be sensitive to that. And I'm going to tell you a secret. A lot of people know me as this Christian that went to church. This is, I guess, my public announcement that I don't believe in a lot of things I used to believe. I do believe there is a God, a higher source. I do believe that there was a man named Jesus. I do believe in a lot of things, but I no longer believe a lot of the Christian faith that I believed in. I know that that's gonna shock you. So when my dad had passed, I was very confused about where he had went, what had happened, and I had to work through that myself. So for me to go into my spirit was actually very hard. So what I'm telling you to do was hard for me to do. But I'm, coming from a place of understanding if on both sides. So when I say going to your spirit, I understand coming from a Christian point and I guess a Western belief religion point, and I come from a believer point. So I come from both sides. I have come a long way in my understanding of beliefs and all that, and that's another story I will share sometime. But I found that in my meditations, I was able to connect with myself, and that is where I found my healing. And my healing is through being able to find a way to find myself again, and to know that through connecting with myself, I was able to connect with my dad, because I am a part of my dad and my dad is a part of me. And this is gonna sound really, really crazy and really, really weird, but through my meditations, I was able to talk to my dad. I remember the very first meditation I did where I decided to try to connect with my dad. It was where I don't know, there was just something in me that was like, I want to see if I can maybe find out if he's okay. And I pictured myself finding him in a room and hugging him, and that was very healing for me. And so I just continued to expand on that. And then there were some other experiences that I had that were very healing, and I am going to share those at some point. I don't think now is the time, but I want those of you that are going through grief to know that there is healing. You do not have to use this tool. Please I don't think I'm telling you have to do this. It is a hard thing to do. I'm just telling you these are things that I use to heal my grief. And I truly believe that grief and anger and rage and all the feelings that you can feel from those things, because I had a lot of grief to work through, can be turned into a superpower. And you can find yourself in ways that you will never find yourself. And I will tell you, I am proof of that. So, I feel for you guys, like my heart is tender still. But I'm so strong. I'm so much stronger now. And, I want to help people figure this out. So, if you are struggling and you need help with it and you would like to reach out in any way, I definitely would love to help you do that, because my heart and my compassion is with you. I can't promise that I won't cry with you, because I get it. My compassion and empathy is right there with you. But you're gonna make it and you're gonna be stronger, I promise. So, before I start bawling, and I don't know what time it is because I just, going long, but when I get time, I will explain a little bit more about the meditations that I would use to connect with my dad a little bit in his spirit, or my spirit, I guess, and then help you with that. So I really hope you have a great Friday, or whatever day it is that you watch this, and keep going, guys. You got this. It's a new year. Namaste.